Hi there, I'm Cito Beltran. Welcome to Straight Talk. Slowly but surely, the Filipino is making headway into the regional, if not the international broadcast system, broadcast networks, etc., into the industry worldwide. And it's interesting to note that they have different faces, different ethnic origin. They are Filipino, but when you see them on a different station, on a different network, you will even know they are. For example, our guest today, if you see him on the Channel News Asia of Singapore, you would have sworn he was Singaporean. But apparently, he's Canadian, he's Filipino, he's Chinese. And if you talk to him in Tagalog, I figure he would speak to you in Tagalog. Our guest for today, he is a news presenter, producer, Mr. Timothy W. Go. Timothy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here,
Okay.
Cito.
Tim, why is that? Why is it that when... I didn't even know you were Filipino. I would, scan, surf the channels, and I would habitually stop with Channel News Asia, look at what's going on in Singapore, and I said, Chinese. Mm-hmm. The notion is Chinese. Of course, you are Chinese Filipino, but you seem to be extra Chinese when you come out in Channel News Asia. Why is that?
I guess I look Chinese, but maybe I just adopt to wherever I am, adopt to your work environment. And since Singapore is primarily 80% Chinese,
okay.
I guess
it's not
the Chinese in me just comes out on
okay,
TV.
but it's not a corporate requirement, or it's a it's a image that's being packaged by Channel News Asia.
No, not at all.
Because they were saying that about BBC. When Pedrosa went onto the BBC, it was a very proper British diction, and I was like, okay, so fine. Hey, she studied in England, so hey, that's cool. Then you saw Rico Hizon, and then Kathy Yap. And I'm saying, what is it? Are they being forced, or being they asked to be more Chinese than Asian, or what?
No, Channel News Asia has this philosophy that because we are supposed to be a regional broadcaster, they wanted to get all the regional faces, all the regional accents into the station. So I'm Filipino. Another colleague, Jennifer Alejandro, used to work here, also Filipino. We've got Singaporean Chinese, we've got Koreans, got American Chinese. I think it's a corporate philosophy. They just want to make us look like, we're representing the whole region of Asia, Southeast Asia, even up to...
But are you affected? Is there an English that affects you guys? Because I know that when I go to Holland, I kind of start sounding, English Dutch. When I go to America, it's a twang. It depends on what part of the state you are. But when you go to Channel News Asia or BBC or whatever, is there really a sound?
There is a sound.
Because talking to you right now, low, relatively low pitch, slow. But when I see you on Channel News Asia, it's like, oh boy, he's plugged in.
It's a TV voice. But no, when I first started coming from Canada, after graduating school there, so I speak, the Canadian English, which is slightly different from the Singaporean, more British side of English. So I used to always have this conflict with producers. We don't say it that way. We don't write it that way. This is how we say it. But now I think we just adjust to each other. They know that, some of our viewers are from here. Some of our viewers are American or Canadian. So they'd rather hear my way of saying things. And when you get someone who graduated from Singapore, or graduated from the UK, they do it their way.
Okay. So there is no standard or culture, that you guys are trying to portray.
No, we just keep our. When I was having my orientation meeting, I was told just keep your standard English. If you're Indian, just speak with a standard Indian English, and it's fine with us. If you're Singaporean, just speak with just don't make it too local. Like Filipinos, we have our way of speaking English. We have our
English,
own terms.
Taglish.
Yeah, Taglish.
Oh, yeah.
Our own terms that people don't understand.
Okay, so you grew up in Canada, or you were born in Canada, or what?
No,
because I understand you're Filipino.
Yes,
Okay.
I grew up here. studied high school here.
Where? Xavier?
St. Peter.
St. what?
St. Peter.
Okay, I'm
in
sorry.
Paco.
You know, I'm much older than you, so I've lost track of all the schools that have evolved. So St. Peter, okay.
Yeah. And I went to Vancouver to finish my university and get into journalism school.
Journalism?
Yeah.
In Vancouver?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I worked there.
Journalism and broadcasting, never shall the twain meet, or at least that's what my father said until he violated that rule.
Well, it's the course is broadcast journalism. It's a specialized course under a broadcast communication type of program. So we learn everything from TV, radio, and journalism.
Okay, and what was the direction of that program? Was it directed towards being a reporter, a news presenter? Because that seems to be an issue right now. A lot of us do talk shows where a lot of us are presenters, but none of us ever went through a course called interview.
Right.
And so, like, what are these kids made for? Are they made to be reporters, producers? What was the course direction?
It's basic. We learned everything from camera, lighting, how to do your research and conduct proper interviews, how to go out there, get your story, put it together, and, you know.
What, the news gathering format?
It's the whole thing. And then at the end of the, your program period of 4 years, you just decide what you want to do. I started out doing radio as my first job after doing associate production for the Canadian Broadcast Corporation. And I think they only hired me because they were coming here to interview, at that time, President Joseph Estrada. So they needed contacts, they needed to know where to go, what to do. So I said, okay, fine, it's good experience. Yeah. So I did that, went into radio. Radio was fun.
What's it like being on Canadian radio? I mean, most of our viewers have an idea of Philippine radio. It's either, the latest current affairs issue, or it's gossip, or it's, a couple of people slapping each other around and, a radio drama, or music. But in Canada, what's it like?
I work for an all-news radio station, much like the ABS-CBN radio station. We just do news 24 hours a day. So as a reporter, you go out there, you cover all these stories, the police beat. Whenever news breaks, you just go on.
So there's no commentary?
No commentary.
Okay.
Not in the radio station I work for. Okay. We didn't have talk shows. We just did news. So, if there's a robbery on First Avenue and whatever, you just go there, get there, you do your report, much like how you guys do it here.
Okay, so does it have a good following? Because I would tend to think that in the Philippines, if you did that, boy, that should be a home run. Doing a radio news station.
We advertise as a station that you listen to, what was that, 2, 3, or 4 times a day. You go into work, you listen to us, you take your lunch break, you listen to us, because we do a news roundup every 30 minutes.
Much like ANC now.
Much like ANC, minus that, I don't know, the radio station, you guys have that siren when there's breaking news happening, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have that. We just kind of go with it.
Okay, so there's no there's not a lot of play-ups or anything or sound effects.
No.
It's just, okay, this is just there's a very subtle.
Yeah, the anchor will just say, a robbery happened where, and Timothy Go is there.
But is there that, do you have that much news in Canada?
No, we kind of...
I love the Canadians, I love the country, but it's like, news? What news?
Everything is...
everything is business or nature.
Yeah, that's why a little robbery here and there we just report.
And that's big news.
Probably something that would be ignored if you're in Manila, but we'll just report it because, we do little... municipal council meetings and mayors and all these things.
Okay.
Those all make it to the.
But the standards of work as far as a broadcaster in Canada is concerned, what's it like? Would the guys who graduate from the Philippines make it there?
I think
because you graduated in Vancouver.